Yeah, you can start.
Okay. Good evening. Welcome back to the and we are in the first unit in the understanding mind. We are in the first unit of store of consciousness. So we are learning what are the things that we are storing in our consciousness. That is what we are actually going through. Today, maybe I may complete because we have 3 more verses that are left in this store of consciousness. So let me try to complete that. So here today's is the thing is Indra's net. Indra is like, yeah, as you hear, it is the who is in the heaven, right? So Indra's net. What he is saying is the Indra's net. That we will see. Let me share my screen. No, okay. Okay. This is the 13th verse. Seeds and formations both have the nature of interbeing, interpenetration. The one is produced by all, and the all is dependent on the one. This is the most important, profound verses 13 and 14, which are coming from the Avatmaka Sutra or something. So that from that it is coming, but that is what it is all saying, Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi, whatever we call it, right? So all this is says the same thing. Seeds and formations both have the nature of interbeing and interpenetration. The one is produced by all, and the all is dependent on one. That is what here he is saying. So here, these 2 verses, 13, 14 verses are from the Avatamsaka Sutra into the manifestation. So this is Avatamsaka Sutra was brought into the Buddhism, originally taught from the India. It is originating from the India. Avatamsaka Sutra is also known as the Flower Garland Sutra or a Huyan Sutra, is one of the most influential and extensive Mahayana Buddhist scriptures. It is revered by the various East Asian Buddhist traditions, including the Huyan, the flower garland Buddhism in China, and Hoya Buddhism in Korea. So in both the ways, these are this text is being used. This was originating from India. The Avatamsaka Sutra was likely composed over several centuries and attributed to the Buddhist monk Gandavyuha. The text final form was completed around 4th or 5th century after this. But if I say, if you can go back to the relate to the same thing, same meaning, it is there in our Vedas and Vedantas. It is there. All Vedantas are saying the same thing. So the seeds of the formations, both the nature are interbeing and interlocked. The one is produced by all, and all is depending on one. That is how it is actually. That we will see. The Avatamsaka Sutra was renowned for the profound and vast teachings describing the interpretation and interconnection of all the phenomena in the universe. It presents a vision of reality where all the things and beings are interconnected, and Earth, individual entity, is both microcosm and reflection of the whole cosmos. Suppose if I take a simple example, if you say, how can the one is connected to the all and all is connected to the one? How it will be happen? How the simple thing, let us take, if you see a flower, just the flower, if you see the flower is existing on its own. The flower comes from a plant. The plant is existing on its own. The plant needs the soil, which is the earth, and the plant needs the water at the right time, and also the plant needs the sun. With all these things only the plant is existing. From that plant only the flower is coming. So from earth, if you say from the same earth, same water, same sunshine, if you give, one plant is giving you the grapes, one plant is giving you the oranges, one plant is giving you the jasmines. All same thing, same ingredients, but every plant is giving the different. But are the plants are independent? No, they're all depending on all these things. So that is what here is. One is depending on the one is producing the all, but all are depending on one. So that is how we have to understand. This is a simple example. The core theme of Sutra revolves around the doctrine of interpenetration. The Sanskrit is Samata Aloka Kalpa. This concept illustrates that each aspect of reality contains the totality of the universe, and the universe in turn manifests in each aspect. It emphasizes interconnections, interdependence of all the phenomena and beings, transcending distinctions between the self and other, and illuminating inheritance unity of the existence. Suppose if you take as a human being, so he as a human being, if you say, okay, this is the body, or this is the thing. If you just look at it to the deeply, then what is that? So the human being body is consisting of all panchabhutas. Without that, it is not going to be formed. Okay. Without food, it is not going to be, you are not going to be survived. Without water, you will not get survived. Without air, you will not get survived. Or without sun, you are not going to get survived. So all these things, you are depending on all the things. At the same time, a human being has the capacity to raise the plants, and he can plant and he can raise all the things. So he can create those things, but he is depending on it. Okay. Farmer is creating those crops. Without that, we are depending on that, whether we agree or not. So we have depending on the farmer. Otherwise, if you don't produce any of the crop, if you don't get the rice, wheat, or whatever the grains that we are using, then we cannot survive ourselves. That's how we are depending on everything. The 13th Sutra teaches about interbeing and interpenetration as presented in the Avatamsaka Sutra. It is like the image of Indra's net. Indra's net is God's Indra's heaven, right? So Indra's heaven is like the cosmic lettuce, which contains a very precious jewels, whereas where the threads crosses, right? Whenever the thread crosses, there is a jewel which is shining like anything. One present in all. So in that, it is saying that if you take a one jewel, all other jewels are presenting in that. Means all other jewels shining is presenting in that. Okay, so the wonderful image is used in the Buddhism. So the same image is used in the Buddhism, that one is presenting in all, but all are presenting in this one, and this is presenting in all. This particular one jewel image is presenting in all others. All others images are presenting in one of the thing also. Okay, that's how it is. Then teapot, if you take a teapot, is a single independent object. If you look deeply, if you take a teapot, is an object, if you take. But if you look deeply into the teapot, what it is having the earth, the pot, right? It's having the earth, water, and there is a hotness, fire is there, air, space, and the time. Everything is there. The entire universe you can see in that teapot itself. Okay, flower, soil, water, sunshine example also I have given, right? So like this, if you take anything, if you look deeply into it, suppose if I have this table, the table is a separate object. But if I look at the table and the forest is different. But if I look deeply into this table is containing some wood. The wood is coming from the plants. The plants are in the forest. It is interconnected. There is so much of every being is interconnected. That's what he is saying. We can see the nature of the interbeing, interpenetration in every seed of the formation. Buddha said, that is because that is. That is because that is. That's what he said. That is the simple, profound teaching that he has mentioned. It means that everything is related to everything else. Similarly, we are all connected to each other. That is what here he is trying to say is, we are all connected to each other. A sunshine penetrates the vegetation, right? A vegetation penetrates animals, and we are interdependent on each other. In the one all, we see the one. The deepest teaching of interconnectedness is in the Buddhism. Clear. So he. Okay. So the Buddhism. Okay. There is a scientist, a physicist, David Bohm, has proposed the terms explicit order and implicate order, to describe the Buddhist teachings, right? So these are all the Buddhist teachings are ultimate reality. It is all the ultimate reality. He defined the terms as implicate order and explicate order. Explicate order. What is this explicate order? Everything exists outside of everything else. Everything exists outside of everything else. The elephant existing outside of the rose, that there's no table existing outside of the forest. You exist outside of me. So explicit order is what we can see. What we can see. Suppose if you say you are different, whoever joined that Kalpana, Suma are different and Prasanna is different. So explicitly, if you see, if you are not seeing intrinsically, these three people are three different people. Okay, that's how we are seeing that. Bohm discovered that when we look more deeply, if you look at me, so more deeply, you will see all the particles of Panchabhutas in me. I'm not just that separate person. Everything, the heat is there, the water is there, the 70% of the body is the water, everything is there within me. So I'm not totally the separate person. I belong to all the Panchabhutas I belong to. So you also belong to the same Panchabhutas. When we both came from the same Panchabhutas, how can we be different? We are taking the same sunshine. We are taking the same air that is there that we are breathing. So we are taking the same water that was given. So how can we be the different? Implicate reality is looking deeply into the nature of particles reveals us that implicate order, where everything inside is everything else. Everything inside me, whatever is there within you also. It is the same as ultimate dimension. That is an ultimate dimension, whereas explicate order is equivalent to the historical dimension. Explicate order is, okay, birth, death, all those things are the historical dimensions. Okay, somebody born, somebody died, some beginning, ending, this, that, being, non-being. But now in the ultimate reality, what is? There is no birth, no death. You are there previously, you are there now, and you will be there in future also. There is no beginning and ending. It is a continuous changing. Being and non-being, there is no being and non-being. This is the implicate reality. It is the ultimate dimension or ultimate reality. Unlock the door of reality. So once you understand that, we know that we are breathing through lungs. If you see that, we know that we are breathing through lungs. Without them, we cannot breathe. But if you look deeply, the forests and mountains are also our lungs, because without all these forests and all those things, you will not produce a fresh air. If that fresh air is not there, even if you have a lung, there is no problem. There's no use. Heart is pumping a blood. Okay, heart is pumping a blood and you are actually surviving it. But if the sun is not there, if that heat is not there in our body, you will die within no time. Heart. If sun ceases to operate, then all will die right away. So where is that you are an individual? Where is that you are separate from the universe? You are the part of the universe, and the entire universe is within. That is what here ultimate reality. We see that our body is the body of cosmos, and that cosmos is in our body. The entire cosmos is in our body, and we are there in this cosmos. That is how it is. That is what the 13th verse says. The 13th verse says, the reality. I'll stop here a bit. Any question in the 13th verse? Any question in interbeing and interconnecting? Okay, same thing we are actually talking here also, in the 14th also, because 13th and 14th are same, we bought it from that the thing, true and not true. The thing is true and not true. Store consciousness is neither same nor different. Individual or collective, same or different, inter are. collective and individual gives rise together. See here, store of consciousness is same or not different, because my store of consciousness is different from your store of consciousness. No. Is that my store of consciousness is same as your store of consciousness? No. Both are not the same. Because my store of consciousness, you may get something, because same kind of experiences you may be having it. So some of the things you may be having it, and some of the things you may be taking from some other people, and you may be having the common thing. So we are not the same, or we are not the different. We are not the individual. We are not totally collective, not the collective, not the same, not the interwoven. That's what. So we are the totally together. We are the part of the. We are totally the part of it. So my store of consciousness is not made up of yours, made from yours, and your store of consciousness is not made from mine. So Buddhist philosophy, the store of consciousness, alaya vijnana, is the deepest layer of the consciousness that stores all mental imprints, karmic seeds, and experiences from the past lives and present life. It is the foundation of the constitution of the life and rebirth. That is what we are learning, right? In the entire thing, that 14th verse until now, and the next verse also is talking about the entire thing is store of consciousness. Whatever that we are storing, the karmic seeds are all storing in this store of consciousness. When you understand this consciousness, right? When you understand this is not a separate. You are not having a separate story. We are not having. When you all these 50, all these 10 or 5, 6, 7 classes, we are only talking about how the seeds are coming up. Once we understand that how seeds are coming up, it is easy to remove. It is easy to remove those seeds, and it is easy to water only to the right seeds and unwater the seeds that are not that are not required in our life. My store and your store is not the same, but my store of consciousness is made of yours. It's made from yours, and your store of consciousness is made of mine. Because once we connected here in this tonight, once we are connected here, it doesn't mean that we are totally separate beings. Somewhere in our karmic bondage, we are all connected. Somewhere we are connected here. That is why tonight we have connected, and we are just actually talking together. Without that karmic bondage, no one in your life will be connected to you. Remember, anyone for that matter, even the person who is sitting beside you in your flight or in your bus or whatever it is in your journey, has some karmic connection with you. Okay, so they may be having a little connection, so they just talk or they take some information and go or something. So everybody, whoever is connected, you are all interbeing. You are all the interbeing. There is nothing, but you are not the separate people. That's what you need to remember. You are neither the same nor the different. Your store of consciousness is neither identical nor completely distinct. It is not a singular. It is a changing. It is a unchanging entity, nor entirely separate from the experiences of consciousness of other beings. It is not changing or it is not unchanging. It is not totally separate. Notions of the same and different, one and many, are pairs of opposites, and truth is always transcends to the opposites. The only way to remove our suffering is delusions, to change our dualistic way of thinking to the transcendent notion. So once you understand that you are not separate, you are not separate being, so then you will not have any. Suppose if your kid said something to you, okay, will you get angry? You may get angry at that moment, but you will still keep on loving him or her, right? So why? Because you are thinking that he is related to you. Once you understand that every being in this world is interconnected, we are all connected, we are all the related. Once you understand that, you will not get angry or you will not get anything. So their level of maturity is different. Their level of understanding is different. That's all you can think of. You try to understand the other people. You try to, suppose a kid who is in the second grade, will you ask him to do the trigonometry? No, you will ask him to only 11th grader or 12th grader, only they will only get to know the trigonometry. You will not ask second grader, third grader. But when it comes to the life, you will expect some standards, some common sense, some kind of thing, expectations on other people. Because I behave this way, it's a minimum courtesy that they should understand this way. Why can't they understand? Why they do like this? Because maybe they are the second graders, maybe you are the grad student, who knows? Similarly, so suppose if you say Sir Ramana Maharshi or Swami Rama in Patriji, so can we be like that? We are not like that. Maybe they are the PhDs and we are just the 10th class people. We don't know, right? So if we understand that way, we will not, because everybody is having the same kind of, because everybody is having the not having the same kind of thing, but we are all interconnected. You cannot expect the same things from everyone. Only thing you need to understand that they're all interconnected and each one is traveling in their own pace and in a different zones. Individual or collective. Store of consciousness is not exclusively individual nor entirely collective. Not everything is individual. There are some collective conscious seeds are there. Not all are collective. There are some individual conscious seeds are also there. That is what we learned, right? It is not limited to the one person's experience, but contains the imprints and experiences of all the sentient beings throughout the time. All your previous janmas, whatever that you have connected with the different people, whatever that you got it, right? You have all those experiences imprinted in your seeds, in your store of consciousness. We need to go beyond such an ideas. We have to go beyond such ideas, same or different, individual or collective. So according to the Nagarjuna is a Buddhism one, right? The one who worked on it. We have to go beyond the idea of birth and death, one and many, coming and going, permanence and annihilation. So we need to go beyond that. So if you go beyond that, what is left? If you go beyond all these things, what is that is left? Same or different inter are. The statement introduces the concept of interbeing or inter are. It emphasizes that everything is interconnected or interdependent. That's what I'm saying from 13th verse onwards. Everything is interconnected or interdependent. Individuality and uniqueness coexist with the interconnectedness. Meaning, each being is interconnected with all others. I am connected with you and you are connected with everybody else. Something cannot arise from nothing. Something cannot arise from nothing. You agree, right? So suppose a person is born, it didn't arise from nothing. Arise from the so many things, right? Suppose if you take the clouds, if you take clouds are the past life of the rain. Rain is the continuation of the clouds. So this cycle is going on. Does that rain is existing when it is existing in a different form? Similarly, we are existing in a different form. It is not that we are not there. We are existing in a different form. Only the energy is, so energy is becoming the matter, which does means, suppose now that this glass has there. This glass is existing now, but previously is also this glass is there, which is in the form of energy. Now it got manifested into the matter. It became a glass. It is just until the energy changed its form. When we burn, suppose if you take there is a one, when we burn a piece of paper vanish, right? When we burn a piece of paper vanish. So what will happen? There is some ashes will come. There is a smoke will come out of it. So this heat and smoke, it will go to the air. Okay. This heat penetrates to the cosmos. It is going to the cosmos. Then the smoke and other gases is going to the clouds. Let us take. They are all going to the clouds. Then these clouds will come to the rain, and these ashes are going to to your earth. So it is nurturing the soil. Okay. So the ashes are going to the thing, and the smoke is going to the clouds, and it is again coming as a rain. Okay. When rain, this soil was it got mixed up in the soil, and the rain came. Again, because of the rain, the trees are growing. From the tree, again the paper comes. From the tree, again the paper comes. So where is the paper? Paper is existing before or not? It is existing in the form of a tree, in the form of smoke, in the form of the ash. Paper is still existing. Only thing is, whenever you are changing, it is changing its energy, it is changing its form. Similarly, we are also changing our forms. We are changing in the different forms, and we are there before, we are there now, and we are there after. That is what I like to mention from these two verses. Collective, individual give rise to each other. The notion highlights the inter-separability and mutual dependency on a collective and individual experiences. Collective experiences are formed by the contributions of the individual experiences, and in turn, collective influences the individual experiences. So any experience, if we take, let's say collectively, the meditation industry. So collectively, when we are doing, we are getting an experience, but individually, each experience is different. But collectively, we are actually forming a collective meditational energy, and that energy was taken by everyone, but each one is feeling in a different way. So all others are feeling in a different in summary, that 14th statement reflects that non-dual, interconnected nature of store of consciousness and the understanding that all the things and beings are interconnected, interdependent, and arises from the causes and conditions. This perspective is essential in Buddhist teaching as it leads to the realization of interdependent nature of reality and the interconnection of the sentient beings. Okay, this is what. So, and this whole two things are, we are all interdependent, we are all interconnected. So we are not separate beings. Our conscious is not a separate being. Our store of consciousness, whatever we are storing, is not totally individual. There are some collective seeds are there. So that is what these two verses are trying to say here. So if we understand all these things, when we understand all the things that are there innate in our thing, what are the things that are there in our seeds of in our store of consciousness? All the seeds we understand, and we are only watering the right ones. We are not watering the wrong ones. What will happen? What is the remaining thing? What will be remaining in your life? Anybody? Of course, nothing but pure consciousness. What remains is just the pure consciousness. When you understand everything, when delusion is overcome, when you are separate, when I am separate, that is a delusion. When that delusion is overcome, what will come? Understanding will come. When you understand that we are all interconnected, we are all the same, understanding is there, and store of consciousness is no longer subject to the afflictions. It is not subject to any afflictions. Store of consciousness becomes a great mirror of wisdom. Then it becomes a great mirror. So we understand so much things. So that knowledge is there in our store of consciousness. So that has a great mirror of wisdom, reflecting the cosmos in all the directions. That wisdom is reflecting the cosmos in all directions. Its name is now. What is that name? It's the pure consciousness. That name is the pure consciousness. So we need to understand that with all the 14 verses, whatever we understood, if we understand and if we can reflect within us, then we will become the pure consciousness. This store of consciousness is very important, because even after the manas and other sense consciousness we go, it is dependent on the store of consciousness. The store should be there, right? In that, from that only the manas and senses or anything is coming up. So this is so important to learn the first one. That is why he has given the 15 verses. Overcoming delusions. How we can overcome this delusion? Delusion refers, we mentioned that all these days, right? Delusion refers the ignorance. Whatever that I am the body, I am Prasanna, I am doing this. So these kind of things, whatever I have it, right? That is the delusion. Once I understand that we are all being interconnected, so then I'll not think I'm a separate being. I'm so great because I did something. I'm so great. We are all same thing. You are doing something. I'm doing something. That's all. We were given a different task and we are doing that. That's all we feel it. So delusion refers the ignorance and the mistaken perceptions of the cloud, our understanding of reality. When one overcomes the delusion to the spiritual practice, understanding and wisdom arises. When you understand that with the spiritual practice or with the meditation, when you understand, then the genuine understanding will come. So that when the genuine understanding comes, actually your wisdom arises. Delusion and ignorance is the basis of our wrong understanding, which creates a lot of suffering. That is the wrong understanding, right? So the delusion comes when we think that I am this body and whatever I am earning is all mine. I did it. All whatever I'm doing or whatever I'm doing, I'm a great. I'm doing it. So that is the delusion. This we are not separate being. When we practice looking deeply, anything if you start looking deeply into the nature of interbeing, delusion or ignorance can be transformed into the prajna. That ignorance can be transformed into the prajna or wisdom and understanding. So that is what we are doing. So if we understand all this story of consciousness, that is what it is going. Here he is referring to the one of the pratitya samupada. So here in this, right, there are 12 links of the dependent origination. So in this pratitya samupada, there is often referred the chain of 12 links. So these 12 links, because of these 12 links only, we are suffering in this samsara. That is what they are saying. If you understand these 12 links, we can that our samsara will be very beautiful and we will not suffer. So what are those things? First one is ignorance, avidya. In Sanskrit we call it as avidya, lack of understanding of the true nature of reality. What is the true nature? We are the blissful beings. We are the happy beings. Okay. So true understanding, we are not understanding what is the true nature of the thing. Formations, that is samskara. Violational activities, mental and physical. So if you are doing any violational activities or violence, you are doing all the things, right? That is the mentally and physically. Those are the formations. It all depends on your samskara. Consciousness, vijnana. Individual consciousness arising from the formations. From your formations, whatever the seeds are there, right? From that, whatever that individual consciousness that is coming up, that is called the consciousness, that is the vijnana. Name and form. I'm giving the name. This body, I have given the name Prasanna, and I have this face. Oh, I'm so looking so beautiful. All these things. There's a name and rupa, right? So that is the mind-body complex. So I'm a body consciousness. Whenever the mind-body complex, the basis for experiencing. That is the basis for experiencing this physical body. Then the next one is 6 sense basis. That is a Shadhyana, that is 6 faculties of whatever our senses and their objects. Then contact, sparsha, the meeting of the senses, sense objects and consciousness. All this is the feeling, Vedana, the experience of pleasant, unpleasant, neutral sensations, and all these are all the feelings. Craving, Krishna, desires and attachments arise from the feelings. Whatever the attachments that you got it from your feelings, I want some car. So if you got a car that which can take you from destination A to B, you are happy at the moment. But after some time, so that desire, whatever that desire will go more. I want a luxury car. I want that car. I want this car. So these are all the feelings. So with your feelings, you have started your desires. So these are the desires and attachments. You started it. Next, grasping. That is upadana, clinging to the desires and attachments. Not only, suppose you got some, as I said, so today in the dinner or lunch, you want to eat a gulab jam or some sweet. You got it, you eat, enjoy it. But tomorrow, if you want to have that one, if you don't get it, then you are sad. You are clinging to your desires. Whenever it gets, if you are enjoying, that's fine. No. Whenever it is not there, also if you're clinging to that one, I want that, then it is an attachment, and that attachment will give you the all the misery. Becoming bhava, the process of existence and the rebirth, the process of this existing and coming back again and again. Birth, jati, physical birth of a new life. Aging and death, jara marana, the process of aging and death in the current life, thus unsubsequent rebirths. So these are all the 12 angles. So if you, with all these things, illustrating process, the life of the suffering cycle or existing cycle, right? The cyclic existence of samsara is arising from all these 12 things. If you understand all these 12 and can remove it from your thing, then we will be able to know that innate nature of our soul. The freedom from afflictions. How? The freedom, what we should be getting it. The freedom from afflictions. How we can get the freedom from afflictions? As understanding deepens, the store of consciousness which contains all mental imprints, experiences, is no longer subject to the afflictions such as greed, hatred, and ignorance. On understanding, when you understand that you are all interdependent, you are all interconnected, interdependent, then you will not afflict, you will not have that greed. I need to keep it, not that I shouldn't give it to the other person. That greed will be gone. And you will not hate the person, because when you understand that that person is at a different level and you are at a different level, you cannot expect everything, whatever you are expecting from the other person. So because his understanding level is different, then you will not hate. The ignorance, you are just the body, you are an individual, you are so great. This kind of ignorance, if you remove it, then you will be understanding all are the same. So when you understand that all are the same, you are free from these afflictions. You will not get any anger, you will not get hatred, you will try to share whatever you have, right? So that is the free, you will get the freedom from these afflictions. Next one is great mirror of wisdom. Once you understand that, then you have that wisdom, right? The store of consciousness undergoes transformation and becomes a great mirror of wisdom, because your mirror, whatever that you have in the store of wisdom, when you understand all these things, your store of consciousness will become the great mirror of wisdom. You will not fall back. Once you understand all these things and practicing, you will not. That's how all our Mahatmas are becoming the great mirror for wisdom. They understand all these things. They are not the same. Everybody is, they are not so separate. Everybody is the same. So that kind of thing, the Damana Maharshi, all those people, right? But Sai Baba, all these people have lived like that. That's why they are become the mirrors for wisdom. This wisdom symbolizes a clear and undistorted perception. So this wisdom, once it comes, it is a clear, very clear and undistorted perception that reflects the reality as it is, without distortions or without delusions. It will show you the reality as it is. You will not go back, because once you understand that all this knowledge within you, then you will not go back. You will be very clearly, you will be able to understand, and the delusions will not be there. Then that wisdom will reflect into the cosmos. Whatever that wisdom that you have, it will reflect into the cosmos. The great mirror wisdom comprehends the interconnections. It comprehends the interconnections and interdependencies of all phenomena. It is connecting the interconnections and interdependency of all the phenomena. It reflects the entire cosmos, recognizing that unity of all existence. Suppose if I say that, oh, I'm not so separate, we are all the same, that is why we are connected here. We all here gathered here tonight, and because without anybody, so there should be somebody who is hosting it. They should come and they should say, the co-host, and they should allow me to do it. There is somebody who has to read and understand, experience, and then come and tell you. There should be somebody who is listening and if any one of these people are not there, this particular lesson will not go. This will stop. Everybody should be there. If no one is listening, there is no point of teaching. If there is nobody is teaching, there is no point of hosting. Even if somebody is teaching, there is no host, then they cannot do it. So these are all interconnected. Do you agree? These are all interconnected interbeings. So everybody should be there in order to do. So when you understand that everybody, there is nothing great, one teaching, one listening, there is nothing great. So one is able to, I have the ability that I can do it, so I'm doing it. You came here to learn, you will learn it. And she came here to help, she will host it. So there is no greatness and no separateness. We are all working for the same cause kind of thing. So when you have that understanding, what you will reflect. So when you are not showing that greatness or anything, whenever somebody is calling, so somebody asks this, I'll just simply say, oh, I learned this. Okay, this is what I experienced. This will share it, because we are not thinking anything different, or we are not thinking we are so great at something else, something that we are doing. So when I am reflecting that kind of thing, the people around me will also reflect that kind of change, because one day they may be thinking, 2 days they may be thinking, or the people will learn and they will just get you. So they also reflect the same kind of wisdom. When they reflect the same thing, the multiple people, when they go to some other place, that reflection will pass on to that. So that's how The entire cosmos will be reflecting this great mirror of great wisdom. So what is that great wisdom? It's nothing but the pure consciousness. With that dissolution, once you are say, and I am different, that kind of dissolution is gone, the delusion is gone, then realization of the wisdom is nothing but the store of consciousness now referred as. What is there in that store of consciousness is pure consciousness. You are understanding everybody is the same. It is no longer clouded by, this is mine, that is yours, this is my child, I can only, this is mine and I will keep it, that will not be there, okay? It is no longer clouded by the afflictions, but embodies with the clarity and purity. It is embodying with the very much clarity and the purity. That is the pure consciousness. With this, we have completed the store of consciousness, the 15 verses. All the first 15 verses is talking about what and all the things that it is storing in the consciousness. So if we can understand how the seeds are storing in our thing, whether they are individual, whether they are collective, it is started from when we are in the birth. When we are in the birth itself, we already got some seeds from the previous birth, and our mother started giving when we are in the womb, and parents and our neighbors and our society started giving when we are childhood. So as we grow, so many seeds we are collecting from the society, and all that is the store. So and with that we are acting. But when we understand that what are those seeds, then we know that. So suppose if I have the knowledge of that, I wanted to learn the self-knowledge. That means who am I? And I wanted to go and watch a movie. There is the two things I have it. So when I know that which seed I have to water it, I have to water it in the sense on which thing that I have to spend my time. So I have to spend my time on learning the knowledge, then I will go. So that when I know that which seeds are helpful, only I'm going to water those seeds only. So with the proper understanding, when practicing, with the proper understanding, I will remove all the seeds that are not necessary in my consciousness, and I will get an understanding that everybody are interconnected and interbeing. Once I know that everybody is interconnected and interbeing, we are just the pure consciousness. With this, I conclude this. Yeah. Any questions, Anil?
Thank you, Prasanna. It's a very deep subject, actually. Yeah, if we listen to understand this one, yeah.
Yeah, but the examples, right? So the paper example, right? I feel so good, like, so how well they have given that. Paper burning into the ashes, and again going in the smoke, coming as a rain, and again the rain is sprouting the tree, and again from the tree we are again getting the paper, right? So how the interconnected, how actually the energy is transferring into the one form to the other form. So similarly we are, right? We are also the same thing.
Yeah, sometimes I see that, a few people, like when we close to them, that frequency will meet, right? Like what we think, and the other person also. Yeah, so, yeah, okay, yeah.
No, not only when the seeds are, when the frequency is meeting, even if the frequency is not meeting, you are connected. That is why you are in touch with in the current life. Okay, you will not get in touch with the current life if you don't have any karmic bondage between you. That is what Bhagavad Gita also says. Bhagavad Gita also says that all your surrounding people are connected with you in some way or the other in your karmic life. That's why they are here. So how can you be so different from the others when you are all interconnected, right? How can we think that, oh, we have done this, so we are great? So we don't know what we have done in the last life, and we don't know what we are going to do in the next life. So there is nothing. So we were assigned some duty. Suppose in a movie, let us take in a movie, if you take, right? So just with the hero and heroine, the movie will go. The father character, mother character, and the comedian character, all the characters should be there. Then only the movie is complete. Similarly, in our life, it is not that we all the characters should be there in order to complete our life. So we are all interdependent all on the things. If you have all the knowledge, if you have all the luxury, nobody is there, then will you be able to survive? What for, right? What for? So you are depending on each and every. Suppose there is no farmer, let us take. There's no farmer, he's not producing anything. Everybody is coming to the jobs. Then who will produce the food? Will we be able to survive? No. If there is nobody who is purifying the water and supplying the water, then we will not survive. Sun is not coming. We are depending from the morning to night. We are depending on so many things, on this nature, and also so many other beings also. And still we say that we are so independent. We are so great. There's nothing. That's what I'm saying. We should understand that we are all interconnected. Anything? 10 more minutes. If you want to meditate and keep any meditation. Or any questions that we can take, or because it is a logical session is closing. Next week we will talk about manas, consciousness. There's all store of consciousness, right? Right now we talked about the store of consciousness. In the first class itself, I think I have mentioned what are the things that we have it. Maybe it was like different, right? So the first class, the manas consciousness, mind consciousness, and then sense consciousness, and the nature of reality. Ultimately, the nature of reality, right? So this is, first one is store of consciousness. We talked, and next few classes we are going to take manas. Manas and mind are different, so mind we deal with later. Manas is buddhi, right here. So that's how.
If no questions, we can meditate.
Yeah, it seems so.
So you want to share the music or guide for 10 minutes, or how you want to do it?
I don't know which one is this one, right? What do you say? It should not have, because it's going live, right? It should not be having any conflict of interest. That's why I'm not sharing these days. I can, if you want, I can I can put Patrice and sing thing, so that this does not have any copyright issues, right?
Yeah. So Patrice, some 10 minutes music or 8 minutes, quick. Patrice or flute music or something maybe.
Yeah. I'll take that one, so that will not have any problem. Not coming. Yeah, I'll place it in a meditative posture for now. Cross your legs and clasp. Please rub your hands and close your eyes. Few seconds. And open your eyes. It's a beautiful smile on your face. Love you. Good night.
Thank you, Prasanna. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pranas.